Really, really quick. One time we
Yeah,
forgot our dolly.
Yeah. So that's when we
That's
went to
very
Stanley.
important. We went and
Yep.
that's a
bought
big
We
one.
one.
went forward.
Several times we forgotten spray bottles. I mean,
Mhm.
that's like top of the
I mean,
always lose your
constantly,
water
and I'm
spray
like,
bottles. So
"What
we
the
just
heck?"
stay like at Dollar Tree and
Mhm.
just constantly pick those up.
Nice.
Deli cups. We've left deli cups, like
We've
extra deli.
Yes, we've left the little black inserts
That
for the deli cups, and we've, like, running
Those are hard to
around
get too.
everywhere. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to a special episode of the Gecko Guys. I'm Bobby, and my co host is.
I'm John with Goldenrod Gex.
And we have a special guest. We have two special guests. We have Will and Audra from Flawless Crested Geckos. I am so awestruck having you guys on. You guys were so much fun hanging out on the 15 minutes of lame. I've seen you guys at Tinley, and I really am excited to chat with you guys today about our topic, which is actually vending at Tinley. Go
Mhm.
figure.
Yes.
It's this weekend, and so we're actually going to be able to get together in person later on.
Yeah.
Probably won't have time to do this podcast. That's why we're doing it early. But yeah, today I would love to, a lot of these interviews, we kind of dive into what got you into geckos. Tell me about your geckos. That's not what this is going to be today. Today, I kind of want to dive straight into our topic, which is going to be how do you guys prepare for a big show
Mhm.
like Tinley? So you guys are now vending. This has been not your first rodeo. I guess my first question to get us started is, you know, we're going to Tinley this weekend. Walk us through your preparation process and how you choose your geckos, which ones to bring, which ones not to bring, because you got a big collection.
As crazy as it sounds, our collection is rather large. Every show, we try to pretty much go into the vault. We call the facility the vault, and we'll pick pretty much a section, and that's what we take. And then we try to
Really?
move to a different section as we do different shows. The reason we go about it in that manner is if we have to sit down and literally pull open tubs and choosing,
Mhm.
it will literally probably quadruple the amount of time that it
Yeah.
takes us to cup up everything and actually get the geckos ready to take. And then you're kind of on the fence about what to take, what not to take. So we just kind of take a lot of the guessing work out of it. And so that's
Yeah.
kind of how we pretty much do it every single show.
Yeah. We usually try to go in, like, a couple days before or the week before and get all of our deli cups ready to go with all our little paper towels, just all the bottoms stacked with paper towels in them. We have our masking tape and our little Sharpie pens, and we typically, when
Prep
he'll
everything
come
up.
out and put 'em in, I put the top on it, write the number, our grow out number, which is our tracking number,
Mhm.
so that when we get to Tinley, we can take them right out, write their grow out number on our displays, and we're good.
Having the inventory numbers like that
Mhm.
literally streamlines everything for us. It makes everything
Mhm.
super easy. We have a
Yes.
hard copy of our master list, and then we also have the master list in our phone. So those numbers basically correspond to hatch dates, parents, so we can send pictures over, show the pictures in person if
Mhm.
we need to of the parents, sometimes of the parents' parents. So it just really makes the entire process really, really fast and easy.
Streamlined. I don't know.
Mm.
Fast.
That's one thing. So
It's
when I
fast
go and I
comparatively.
remember when I'm going to buy geckos and, I'll ask for parent pics. And I did this when I vended Schaumburg, you know, people would ask for parent photos, and I came up with an ingenious idea I'll share in a second. But I'd be like, the first time I was like scrolling through my phone, and you know us gecko people, we take
Mhm.
more pictures of our geckos than we do of our families, unfortunately.
Right.
And they all look the same, as you're scrolling through, like it just sort of turns into a blur. So trying to find that one photo you want to show, unless you've got it super
Mhm.
well organized into, uh, folders or things like that. It's really it could be a time suck. You can stand there talking to them for like 5 minutes. I'll find the photo, I promise. So what I did is I actually brought a tablet and I had just put the geckos, the breeders on
And
there, and then actually did a slideshow and had that up on my table so that people could see the parents and be like, "Ooh, that's a really pretty one." I'm like, "Oh, I've got a baby right over here."
are
So
you Android or Apple user?
I've done both. It's the only way I'm bilingual is through computer systems.
Right.
But
So
I'm Apple all the way, right?
yeah, and
Apple.
then that's awesome. I don't know what update it was. It's been quite some time at this point. But now what happens is in the lead up to the shows, if you can get like your folders on your phone to where you have the pictures you've taken and everything, and you actually pair them together. There's a app, I think it's called Pixlr.
Mm.
You can kind of graph the mom and dad together, write the name on them, and save it. Now, what happens is we actually put
Mm.
it into a pairings folder,
That we have
but
shared.
you don't even have
Mhm.
to. We share it between us, like she
Mhm.
said, but you don't
Mhm.
even have to. You could just save it to your photos. When you go to search, if you search by name, it's gonna pull up
It pulls those up.
the
Yeah,
name
because you wrote the
there and there
code.
immediately.
Mhm.
That is
So
awesome.
So
I
it
need to
just
do
goes
that just in general.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
So we just go straight to that notepad that's got the full
Mhm.
grow out tracking number list,
Mhm.
grab the grow out number, you see that it's whatever, I don't know, Yoshi World Star, I'll just throw it out there. Then we go into our search and our photo albums,
And
press
pull it up.
Yoshi,
There
and
it is.
all his parents tend to come up right there.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's
Genius.
interesting.
What
I'd
was
like
that app
to
called again?
Pixlr,
Uh,
right?
Pixlr,
Pixlr.
he
Mhm.
uses
Yeah.
Cool.
Pixlr. Like there's several of them that you can use. He uses
Mhm.
Pixlr. I've used Pixel Cut.
mhm.
Pixel Cut,
Mhm.
I paid it pro for the pro membership per
Mhm.
month because it works so well. So
We're
I'm
all
able to do it.
professionals if we pay enough money.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Definitely.
Uh,
Pixar does the aspect ratio in a good range where you can kinda get a 1,000 by 1,000, aspect ratio and put, like, a even aspect of male and female
Is
picture
that the
in there.
paid version?
Yeah. The
So,
free version too.
oh, is the
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
version too? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would like to go back to, how you guys talked about how you just sort of pick a section in the vault, right? And that's what we send to any given show. Is your collection, the way you have it organized by like range of births of dates? Is that a section that is like, okay, this is a sellable size? Is that where you go by,
Yes
or how is that
and no.
organized?
Yes and
So
no.
we have, first of all, we have males and females typically. And then when we start going through the area of the vault that we're starting to say, okay, yes, we're going to keep these. Let's put those to the whole back rack. And no, we're going to offer these up available for sale. So we start pour checking. If they're not quite, the size, like maybe they're 18, 19, 20 grams or something like that, we'll pour check and then we'll put them under either or. If they're showing no pores, then we'll
Mhm.
stick under our female racks. If not, then obviously they go under the male rack. But usually for us, and we've said this, we've been, static. We've never moved on this topic.
Mhm.
When we figured out that it's best to let our geckos all get to at least 20 to 25 grams
Mhm.
before they're even available, that has really helped us out a
That's
lot
fine. Yeah.
to decide,
Okay.
once the cycle happens. Because like our hatchlings, we other than feeding them, making sure they're good and all that kind of stuff, we don't go over and analyze them. We don't even look at that
Mm.
kind of analyzation of whether we're going to keep or eat until
Mhm.
literally, like, probably what would you say once they move into their
Yeah, probably around 15 to
15,
20
yeah,
grams.
15 to
That's
20
when we're now
grams?
looking like,
Okay.
We're
it's
actually
it's going in the
analyzing.
right
Yeah.
direction. Plus, we're working so many different projects and trying to achieve so many different things at the same time. We wanna make sure that
Mhm.
we're continuing in that path.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever
Okay.
just like hatch out a baby and go, this one's
Yes.
staying no matter what though?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gotta still happen.
right.
Yeah.
Does that go in a special part of the vault?
Absolutely. We just kinda literally,
Uh,
when that happens, we just literally just put hold back on it because I mean, it doesn't for us, it doesn't matter male or female. Just literally,
Mhm.
if it's coming out like that, it's gonna be sad.
it's funny because we just talked about this not too long ago on one of our videos that
Yeah.
before we ever even moved into the vault, before we had that, we hashed out one of our animals that was just like he came through and he said what I'm about to do. And
Mhm.
then I came through and I pulled it out and he's standing in the room and I was like, holy and he was like, oh yeah, I said the same thing.
And
I
that's what
said,
we named
that's what we
them.
know. That's his name.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. And
That's
he was
funny.
like
That's
this
the
big.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, I like how you guys put how it's like 15, 20 grams. That's where you guys are comfortable to move an animal. Me and
Right.
Bobby both used to kind of be at the opposite side of that camp. We used to both sell young, and now we're also slowly realizing, oh, I've missed out a
Oh,
lot based off of
yes,
selling
and
some young ones.
we had to learn that by experience, right?
Because we did the same
Mhm.
thing
But
to a
it's
certain extent.
also, I think it's according to the breeder and what you wanna achieve, and it's nothing wrong across the board, whether, it's fine to have, 10 geckos that are absolutely through the roof, they're to die for, and you're never gonna upgrade or change from it. That's fine.
Pry from your
Yeah,
cold
that's
dead hand
perfectly
type of
fine.
animal.
But if you're trying to achieve something that you can't necessarily buy, or maybe you
Mhm.
don't wanna buy it, maybe you want to create it, then you're going to have to hold back animals. And if you're gonna have to hold back animals, certain projects, because I tell you, this high white project kicks our
Mhm.
behind. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you will hatch out something and you're like, "Meh."
Mm. Eh,
And
Mhm.
10 grams, you're like,
holy
"Wow, this isn't
moly.
going anywhere." So it
Yes.
depends. Super DAOs are the same
Super
exact
dows
way.
are incredible.
Um,
Our ink spots, oh
yeah, so
gosh.
you start learning like you guys have to
Yeah.
say,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I'm gonna hold off a little bit," and I think you learn that with time and experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yep.
absolutely do.
100% agree.
Yeah. No, I think, the rationale for a lot of people to sell young is that, if you're just starting out, it's a good way to gain a little more capital so you can do more investments in the
Well,
beginning.
there's a lot of
And then
positives to it.
right.
There's,
And then you get to the
capital,
point
space.
though,
Yeah, space is a big one.
yeah, space. But you get to the point, and I'm getting to that point too, where, my breeders, I'm not looking to upgrade very much, right? But I would like to continue my lines in a certain direction. And so now all of a sudden, and I got burned this year
Mhm.
pretty bad. I got burned. I got a
So many
nice
phone
payday,
calls
but
about that.
man, I shoot myself in the foot. It
So
was
many phone
because of
calls about
that
that.
that competition. I put it up as a joke,
Right.
and I
Mhm.
was like, I got the most expensive gecko on Morph Market, and someone saw the value and bought it, and I couldn't say no, and it all worked out great, and I'm happy for them. But I have that thing, I haven't even shipped it yet, and I'm looking at it going, "What did I do?
I have a
What
question
did"
for you on that. I
Yeah,
have a question for you on that. So,
please.
now that you've lived that, because
Mhm.
we've been, I guess, on that side of things
Mhm.
several times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, we've gotten, some ridiculous offers post-COVID,
Mhm.
pre-COVID, COVID. I
Mhm.
mean, insane. And we've told people no. I'm happy to get those offers. So now it's like, we're not going to play that. That's a dangerous game you
That
play
is
It
a
Yeah.
is.
because
Yep.
we understand that there's someone out there that's like, oh, you want to play? I want to play too. Here you go.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm, yep,
There's always a
It's
exactly.
bigger
the right
fish.
That's why
person seeing it. It's
Yep.
the right person seeing it at the right time.
Yeah.
if you don't wanna move it, don't bring it to the show. That's the rule,
Yep.
you know?
I think that's a
No.
great lesson, right? There
Mhm.
is the like, oh, here's the take it from me price, but like, are you going to regret it? And that's something you really have to look into yourself when you're
Yeah.
picking geckos to take, especially to a
Well,
show like Tinley. The biggest,
and
the
we
most
had that
serious buyers are coming to
conversation
Tinley.
before I even went and posted that gecko. I had that conversation with John and a
Hmm.
few other people, and I'm like, that's I mean,
Yeah.
who's gonna spend that
I'm,
kind of money, right?
Yep.
yeah.
I've had multiple people offer me more money since then, right? And so it's one of those things where awesome, but again, as you hold it, it grows, it gets better and better. And then all of a sudden
Hmm.
that goalpost changes. So I guess, there's lots of different reasons to hold, not to hold, but I do like that you guys stick to your standards and go for it. Going back to that sectioning in the vault, right? So we talked about how you have different varieties, but like you guys don't just specialize in one type of crested gecko. You have many different projects going on. Is it just the luck of the draw? Like if I'm looking for your best ink blots, right? And I just go to the wrong show, right? I only go to Tinley, but you
Mm.
brought those to a different show. Does that ever happen, or do you guys kinda space it out where you've got pretty much a little bit of everything, you know?
Yeah, it happens. It definitely
Yeah,
happens.
it happens. So, like, a lot of times, if you've seen our setup, and you two have, but for those who haven't, we have this tower that
Mhm.
typically it's just like what is it, 3 by 4,
Yeah.
I guess. And so we put 12 geckos in it or whatever. And those geckos tend to be either ones that we brought that look awesome, fired up or fired all the way down because as soon as they go into that tower, they like to fire down.
Yep.
Or B, they're typically the higher end stuff that we were putting a price on that we were willing to let go. And so a lot of times we have certain ones, like a certain area that we pick from, kind of like you're cherry picking which ones you're
Mhm.
gonna bring this time. Because again, there's only so many spots in that
Mhm.
tower. And so we'll bring, you know, maybe a variety this time, and then maybe we'll go back and we'll just grab a few next time. And there's probably a good, I don't know, 80 geckos that have that kind of level that we would
Mhm.
actually allow to let go for a certain price, but they
Yeah.
can stay too, that kind of
And
thing.
Mhm.
also, we approach shows quite differently than most breeders do. Our show scene, we don't vend as many shows, but at the same time, it's
Mhm.
more advertising, marketing, branding. So, in return for what we're taking out there, maybe you see a super dial and this isn't the particular one you're looking for. We close so many deals on the ride home
Yeah.
from the
Uh-huh.
show.
Mm.
People are
Mhm.
messaging us saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, that one I was looking at, do you still have it?"
Or do you have
Or
X, Y, and Z
exactly.
that you were talking about that you showed me a picture of? Or if you got an animal out of that pairing
Can
that
you
you
send
showed
me
us picture, can
pictures?
you
And we're
send me
just
pictures?
continuing to work
And yeah.
even once we've gotten
Mhm.
home already to pretty much fulfill orders and requests.
Mhm.
So that's kinda how we do it. We don't pride ourselves on the revenue making or generating the
Mhm.
revenue strictly at the shows. It's the before, the after, the during, and, pretty much like we said before, is always how you treat that customer.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
love that you're thinking about it that way because it's so true. Not only, vending big shows, small shows, doesn't really matter. It's that human connection. People come back, whether it's on the ride home or a year
Yeah.
later. And it's the same thing too, and we'll get to this in a little bit, the other online, platforms that you can sell to. Sometimes I'll log off and I'll be like, that wasn't the best, revenue
Mhm.
maker tonight. But then all of a sudden 3 more
Yep.
sales go through,
Messages come
right,
flying
in the
in.
next
Yep.
24 hours. I'm like, "Well, if I would have gotten that at that point, I would have been ecstatic, it would have been great."
Mhm.
It's all good at the end of the day.
That's something that a lot of people do not understand at
Right.
all. And they kind of get into a negative mindset afterwards. And I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. The feelings and the attitude that you put out is what comes back to you. So when you go into something looking at it like that, yeah, I mean, everybody wants to make money,
Mhm.
obviously, if you're on like some of those platforms like we talked about, that we'll get to, but you have to understand that it's a tool in the toolbox. It's not everything. That isn't your everything for that night. You have to understand that there's more to that. There's layers.
We have endless stories that other people can tell from when they contact us on Instagram or on YouTube, or they met us at a show and we're sitting there showing them our best geckos, the care. I mean, spending a lot of time with them,
Mhm.
commit them, and they're walking away from the situation and we're telling them, hey, if you end up getting a crested gecko or acquiring a crested gecko from someone, hit us up if you need some help. And they're like, wait, what?
Mhm.
So if I go spend some money with them over
Yeah.
here, you're gonna help us? I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What's the
Yeah.
catch?" I'm like, "There is no catch.
There's no
That's us
catch.
building the community. It's no catch."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and we all 3 or all 4 of us know, right, that we're gecko nerds. You wouldn't be
Mhm.
this deep into it. So to say to somebody, "Hey, hit me up, I'll talk to you about geckos," is like my kid saying, "Hey, hit me up, I wanna talk about Pokemon." Like, he'll talk for hours and hours about it. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, no,
Speaking
it's what
of,
we like, it's what we do.
don't tell your kid there's an actual Pokemon,
Oh, yeah. Oh, god.
festival or some kind of,
They
like,
wanna
big
go.
thing in Indianapolis.
Man,
Just wait
yeah,
till it's
no, it's
happening.
gonna happen. I one thing I do love, and this is kind of, a little sidetrack is, you know, whether it's your kids or other people in your life, bringing people into this community, I would love for my kids to really get into this. And right now he's into Pokemon. But, like, I was a big Pokemon nerd, right? And so seeing him talk about things and he'll look at me and he's like, "So dad, how do I get this one and do where do I go?" I'm like, "Dude, I haven't played that game. I played the old game on the handheld. You're on the big TV. Like, this is so beyond me, but I love that you love this." And so I hope, like, I can look back at my geckos, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
one of our kids, our middle one, he was I mean, addicted to Pokemon. And every year he would ask that that's what he wanted was Pokemon booster boxes. I'm gonna show you one year that was what he got was like 3 booster boxes. And he spent his whole Christmas just opening up those booster boxes and doing the card thing. And now he has a binder probably this thick with cards in there that we were pricing some of them. And once they're graded and all that, they're
Mhm.
worth like I had
Wow.
several in there over $1,000. I was like, holy
Dang.
moly, that paid off.
Yeah. He's
I'm
making
over
more money on the cards than we are on geckos,
yes.
you know?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
they don't
I'm
Exactly.
gonna tell you, when I was in middle school, like Charmander was the thing, and now it's like all these crazy things. Like it's just crazy how that stuff grows. And
Yeah, it's
I think this
awesome.
community is like that too, because it's like
Yeah, I
having a
would
live
say
population.
relating that it's the exact same with the gecko community, right? We're all talking about the passion we have over things like Pokemon, and you radiate that when it comes to geckos, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people can get really hesitant when they're talking to, especially like someone who does this for a living, right? There can be some stigmas around full-time breeders, but I
Hmm.
can tell that you guys radiate the passion for these animals, right? It's not purely about monetary gain. And that's something that's so important when working on a brand.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, we feel like it built our relationships so much
Oh
throughout
yeah.
the time frame of
Mhm.
us building our collection. We were able to spend so much time together and they absolutely created a whole new relationship and a whole new goal for
I
us
do
and our
feel that
family.
that's the part where people don't really get to see. It's kind of impossible to be that transparent with it, like
Mhm.
showing the previous like life, law enforcement,
Mhm.
working at 2 different
Mhm.
departments all the time. I mean, out there fighting
Mhm.
with bloody naked.
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
It's just
Oh my gosh.
crazy,
That
you
was
know?
me.
But then
You
you're
guys should
crossing
come to the
borders.
show in your old uniforms
Oh
just to
god,
see what happens.
never,
I can't fit
never.
in my old uniforms. What are you talking about?
Look, now we hope everybody do well, but when other people are dealing with disturbances and stuff like that,
Nope.
Yeah.
I just like, thank God it's not us.
After you're done with the infant stage, you're like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
Good.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. So now it makes kind of what we do now a blessing.
Yes.
Mhm.
And we understand how much of a blessing it really is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's awesome. So one thing I'm totally confused about, and I don't even know the answer to this, so I'd love for you guys to kind of explain. You guys are in North Carolina, right?
Mhm.
South
Or
Carolina.
South
I'm
Carolina,
from North
okay. So even
Carolina.
farther. You're from North Carolina, okay.
Yes.
Uh, how do you get your geckos to Tinley? Like, I
Yeah. I would love to
I
talk
know
about
some people
that.
drive, like, what is
So
that
we
process like?
drive, and this has been the journey. So this is gonna go so many different directions.
We're here for
I'm
We
it.
hanging in
drive,
there with you, Ed.
we drive, so we go through the whole, we cup them up just like if we're gonna ship. We load them into a huge tote. It has like kind of holes drilled in the lid. It really doesn't need it because it's inside the vehicle when we
Mm.
drive, and we load up everything and kind of take off. And the drive is roughly 13.
So it's 13 hours going up and 11 coming back because we go up a different way than we come back. I can't stomach Nana Halo Gorge, which it does this and I'm just like over here like, ugh, even driving. And so in order to get back quicker, I do technically stomach it coming down the mountain, but going up the mountain is a whole different story. I don't know. So that being said, it takes 13 hours up, 11 hours back.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's definitely our longest trip.
Definitely our longest.
And the reason I say it's interesting is because we're trying to get out further. We want to get out to the West Coast, but we're trying to look at
Mm.
different methods of doing
Mhm.
it.
We have a lot of people think that for some reason that we don't learn from other breeders
Right.
still, and we do. We
Definitely.
pick up
You
a
have to.
lot of stuff from different people that we've just paid attention to. And for one, Gordon and Gabby from Ruby Reptiles
Mm,
Mhm.
have, they live in Arizona. And so they fly their geckos into Tinley both March and October, and,
Delta.
and then they fly in and they
Mhm.
pick up and they have a setup that they just very much use for that specific type
Mhm.
of travel.
And that's worked really, really
Okay.
well because we kinda got the inside scoop with that as far as actually shipping your geckos up via, Delta
Yeah.
and being able to pick up there instead of actually at FedEx.
Yeah.
So that
Mhm.
also provides another option if you need to do it that way.
Mhm.
Now, is it cheaper to do a big cargo thing with Delta than it would be to ship
I
traditionally?
think
Just
it's pretty much right in tandem with each other. They're right
Mhm.
around the same
Mm.
I
amount.
think so. We'd have to double check
It's
into that.
right around the same amount
Yeah.
because a long, long, long time ago, I used to, freight, puppies when I used to actually breed,
Oh, really?
man, we had to ship, Delta, and, it was pretty much the same
I
thing,
wasn't
health
privy to
certificate
that. That was before me.
health certificate.
yeah, I was gonna say I never knew that you bred dogs. What
Yeah,
kind
I
of dogs?
never
Just for fun.
that's a fun little info bit.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
bullies.
bullies.
Yeah,
We
this is
have
like,
Oh, that's awesome.
woo, about
and
20 years ago
and
at
we
this
have
point.
we have a book
It
now.
feels
Yeah.
like yesterday.
Yeah.
That's like our only like real, I guess. Well, no, we have a pig, but
She has a pig.
yes, I do. I have a pig. He's fun.
He's
We're gonna have
sitting
pork
right
chops
there.
for Thanksgiving.
Or not. You're not cooking Roscoe. Roscoe
Oh,
keeps
that's
getting
awesome.
out of his pen, and it's
And
just not
say
good. And I
How
always
big's
my
your
have
pig?
to do what?
How big's your pig?
Big. It's
He's
big
not
now.
that big. He acts like he's like a warthog or
I would
something.
say he's
and say
easily, what,
if
80 pounds? Easy. Easy 80
I
pounds.
don't know.
He's
I
80
can still
pounds.
pick him
Yeah.
up.
He's 80
if it's a
pounds.
pot belly, they don't get very big. Both my grandma and my aunt had pot bellies, so I understand. They're cool. I like pigs.
I got
Mine's
a
a
pot.
little
There you go.
Juliana, and he really. So people don't understand that mini pigs are anything below like 300 pounds. So
Yep.
if
Mhm.
you want to call
Yep.
it mini, then fine, but that's really not that.
It's kind of like
In comparison.
yeah, I like dwarf retic pythons. They're
Right.
not a separate
Yeah,
species. They're just smaller.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But
they're
yeah, so
awesome.
so he knew kind of getting back to the point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He kind of knew how to do sort of some freight stuff with
Yeah.
the puppies and things.
Very cool. You guys obviously chose to drive for most of it. It's more control in your part, a little bit, longer of a trip. But are there any things you worry about while driving? Like, you're not going to jump in and have dinner somewhere. You're going to
Yeah,
probably
We're
drive straight through.
If
better than
he's
most
silence.
asleep, I'll be watching my or listening to my
Oh
podcast.
god. Yes.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
that. But it's not the podcast we listen to. It just gets way crazy and involved. I'm like,
There you
change
go.
the
I
podcast.
like history, mystery, and conspiracy theories.
Oh, I say me and my fiance listen to True Crime on the way up to Tinley. I don't know if you do
Okay,
that.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
now,
We do True
see,
Crime.
John, you're going the wrong route. Because
Uh,
every time I'm sitting there, I'm like, another serial killer? Why are you
yeah,
watching it?
exactly. It's fine. We only listen to the ones
She's
that are solved.
plotting.
Otherwise, it scares us too much.
Yes, I know. We've seen a few of those episodes, How to Get Away with Killing Your Husband. What in the world is going on?
I mean,
No.
you always got to be prepared.
All right. So
She's telling you the signs were there.
Yeah, right?
so
But
so we're
Red
for the
flags.
for the most part, literally, we're road warriors. We get on the road. We try to, stick it out. We always make our coffee
We
stops and
are not road
energy
warriors.
drinks.
I am the road warrior.
As she said, I
Yes.
know I need to drive when you start hearing that warning on the side of the road.
No, it's okay. All I was saying was like last time we rented a van because we were like, let's do this time around and not put miles on our vehicle. And we rented a van and it had like lane assist. And
Yeah.
that pissed me off so much. I'm driving down and I'm like,
it's so
"Excuse
frustrating.
me?"
It moves
And
fast.
he kept waking up. I was like, "It is not me. It is this car. It is possessed."
That's what
It's
we
trying to
drive
bring you
me.
back to the center.
Well, I drive
It
just
doesn't work
fine.
like that, Bobby. She's telling the
No.
truth. Lane assist is so frustrating. It's so bad. I hate lane assist.
Now you could just set your distance and let it do it all for you. That keeps you in the
Yeah,
center
that's right.
and it'll slow down. That's how it
No.
works in my car.
A
But
Tesla van?
Oh, you got a Tesla?
Okay.
no,
No.
No, I've got a dad mobile. Like it is a full on. It's one step away from a minivan. So, which I'm kind of sad I didn't get. Yeah.
We're
Kia
looking.
Telluride.
We're looking. Oh, okay. So that was on my list of vehicles to look at. I'm looking at a new one now. Like I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
love it.
decide what I want.
You love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife had
All
to
right.
pick something that she was comfortable driving because when she does drive, I've got bad sleep apnea, and between me and the kids, we're all out, and it's just Snorville the entire time.
Oh, wow.
So, you know,
Yeah, sleep.
She's outing him right away.
Woo! When he
got
doesn't
to
wear
bring our
that
like
mask,
travel CPAPs, you know.
he doesn't. He doesn't. So he'd be over here
Okay.
fighting for his life in his sleep.
Love it.
So
So, okay, you guys, you
we've
pack up. Go ahead, John.
we've made it to Tinley, right? We've
Yeah.
booked it. We're driving straight across when we're not swerving around in the road and snoring. We've made it to Tinley. What does upkeep look like once you get the geckos to the destination?
Yeah.
Because they're there for what, four days probably?
Well, even
Something like
before that, what does setup look like?
Yeah, what does that
Well-
look like?
So
That's easier.
yeah, for us,
We go a day early.
we go a day early. Yeah. So we've over the years we've left earlier and earlier in the middle of the night. Usually we leave around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning from Wednesday into Thursday night. So it's early Thursday morning that we pull out.
Mhm.
And typically we are in Tinley around 3-ish, depending on,
Mhm.
you know, how long it's taken us, 3, 4 o'clock. And we typically, I mean, this is a real quick because we're exhausted by this point. Because
Mhm.
typically we don't go to sleep. When we wake up on Wednesday, we typically don't go to sleep until we get to Tinley on Thursday.
Right. So it's 2
Um,
days.
Long,
so we just
long 2
do that.
days.
Yeah, it's a long, like full straight through. And so we usually say, okay, did we forget anything? We didn't forget anything. Which is usually not the case. So we typically run to Walmart or something like that, Sam's Club. We've had to run to
Mhm.
Sam's Club before.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely something in Target. I think we ended up
So
going
let's
to a-
run through that really, really quick. One time we
Yeah.
forgot our dolly.
Yeah. So that's what
That's
we went to
very
Sam's
important.
Club.
We went and
That's a
bought
big
We
one.
one.
went and bought one.
Several times we've forgotten spray bottles. I mean,
Mhm.
that's like top of the
I mean,
obviously, your
constantly.
water
And
spray
I'm like,
bottles. So
what
we
the
just
heck?
stay like at Dollar Tree and
Mhm.
just constantly pick those up.
Nice.
Deli cups. We've left deli cups, like
We've-
extra deli.
Yes, we've left the little black insert
That-
for the deli cups, and we've like running
Those are hard to
around
get, too.
everywhere.
Yes.
Now, would you just run to like ship your reptiles or Redline and just, you know,
If
hey
they're
guys, can we
there.
just buy
If
your
they're
Yeah, if
inventory?
they're there, some of the
Yeah, I was
shows they're
gonna say,
not
you-
there.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't just
Yeah.
like walk to a Walmart and buy shipping cup liners. Like you can't do
Yeah,
that.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No, we learned that the hard way. Labels for our label maker.
Yes.
We usually forget those typically.
Batteries. Have that
Batteries.
every once in a while.
Now we have like an overstock of batteries in our
Yeah,
food bag.
keep buying them.
And then, so those are typically like the things that we end up forgetting somehow.
Multi-tool kit.
Multi-tool kits, yeah. One time we forgot our locks for our trailer, and we went to Harper
Ooh.
Oh
to
my
pick
goodness.
those up. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the worst
Yeah.
though. One
Oh.
time Audra left the keys to the display cases.
I did not.
We
sir.
don't need to be blaming here.
Wait,
Hold on.
wait.
Calm
She's
down.
actually correct.
I did not.
He's correct and wrong at the same time because she
Yeah.
did not leave them. She just happened to forget that she left them in the car door the entire time of the
There we go.
They were there.
Silver
They were
lining.
there.
We brought them all along. All right, now
That was meticulous.
before we move on, I need you guys when you're packing for Tinley to go to this clip right here and check off the list. There,
Yeah.
we helped you
Better
guys.
off.
There
You're
you
welcome.
go.
Don't
This
forget
was for
that.
you.
I'm gonna have to
All right.
edit this tonight and post it.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times, so one really important tip, like if you make sure you grab you some like a little first aid kit, some Band-Aids,
Mhm.
a little thing of a Tylenol or Excedrin or something. Always bring you some like Pepto because you're at this show, like you're there and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you are talking to everyone, and it is the absolute most worst thing to not feel good while you're doing that. So that's always like important packing item that you need to take. Always bring that. Clippers, fingernail clippers and stuff like that. Those are all of the little stuff that people I don't think they think about. And we didn't for a while. Trash bags are another one. We
Yeah,
always
trash
forget trash
bags.
bags.
Trash bags. Yeah, that's a huge one.
Like I say, we roll in, we pick up whatever we need, we
Paper
get
towels. Look,
paper towels, yeah, paper towels, as if we don't buy enough of those
Yeah.
already. So we roll in, we go, typically we check in and go ahead and take the geckos in.
Hmm.
Because, unless we're later for some reason, but here in the last couple of years, we've just gotten there so early. We go ahead, we check in, we take our geckos in, we check them, make sure everything's okay, pop the top on our tub, and then we run and get us pizza. And then we come back to the hotel and we clean them up, make sure everybody's good, give them a little spritz of some water, make sure they're all great. And then they hang out with us there in the hotel room, and then we take them the next morning.
Right. Well, while they're there also, we don't typically go out and eat or anything on that Thursday. It's literally kind of a chill and relaxing, recouping day.
Yeah.
And we'll go through them and, change anything that needs to be changed, especially with the spray bottles and the paper towels, kind of making sure that they're going to be as comfortable as possible during that kind of weird long
Mhm.
weekend.
Mm-hmm. Because it
Mhm.
Nice.
is, it's a lot for them. I mean, every show is going to be like that.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it is what
Mhm.
it is, but they're well taken care of. And
One thing that we
Mhm.
don't do, where some people can, there's nothing wrong with it. We don't actually feed our geckos on the road. And we've seen some people
Mhm.
Okay.
actually feed their geckos while they're at the show. We actually don't feed our geckos on the road. Even here, we actually only feed Mondays and Thursdays. So we'll get
Okay.
that quick
Yeah.
feed in on Wednesday before leaving, but we don't feed again until that Monday.
That probably cuts down on changing paper
Well,
towel a few
well,
times,
and
but
yeah. Well,
also
and I
they're stressed out already anyway,
yeah,
going,
Mhm.
riding down the road or flying
absolutely.
one, and I'd rather not a whole bunch of mess be on their stomach and they end up
Mhm.
having an
Yeah.
issue.
Well, speaking of feeling good, obviously you're going to miss them, and hydration's key. One
Yep.
thing when I was vending was one thing I thank God someone told me to do this is I brought myself a cooler because again, you're not
Mhm.
running off to go get stuff. Do you guys bring a bunch of drinks and food for yourself?
No,
Like, do you have
we
a
always say we will.
no?
I will randomly, like, if I think about it, I'll grab like a little something, especially if we've brought our kids.
Yeah.
If we brought our kids, I'm real good about making sure they've got snacks and drinks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we just kind of
Yeah, if
like,
it's just
we'll
like
just
that
run.
that Rocky episode.
If guys,
Right.
guys,
Oh my god, you guys don't. You've got to at least have like water or something. You're standing there 12
Yeah,
hours a
well,
day.
we normally buy the $4
the
water or
water or
whatever that's
something.
there,
A lot
and
of times
It's like I'm a.
like when we go to Walmart, because
we'll try to pick
obviously
up
Mm,
something.
we forget
Huh.
things, but when we go, we'll try to pick us up some drinks and stuff, and we'll bring them in the next day with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then too, Warrior Garden Exotics always brings me chocolate chip
Yeah.
cookies. Emily, she always brings me chocolate.
Okay.
So I'm good with that.
that's
Every
awesome.
show.
And this year she brought 2 bags. One was supposedly supposed to go to William,
I was helping the cause,
and I'm
so
like,
anyone that's married who wants to help their wife out,
"Keep
they
on.
definitely
You
should
got
eat all of her sweets.
trying to stick your
Yes.
foot in
It's
your mouth."
self-sabotage. You're falling on the sword for her. I
That's
love
right.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was mad at him one year because those are the best chocolate chip cookies ever in this world, let me tell you. Like, I'm serious. I
So you're
am
gonna save me one now when I stop by?
No, they're
Oh,
hers.
you're gonna have to talk to Emily. You're gonna have to talk to her. I'll
That's
introduce
awesome.
you, though.
that's
Maybe
awesome.
you'll
There we
get
go.
on
That's all I can ask for.
Yeah,
That's
you
all I
can
can ask.
maybe look at one while she eats it, but you're
Mhm.
not.
Yeah, I'll
You
just
don't
smell
get
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay, you guys have an awesome banner behind you, and I know you guys have a really nice setup at Tinley that I've seen. How did that evolve from the beginning to where you guys are now? Are you guys done evolving that, or is there anything
No,
No.
new that we can look forward to this year
not at
This
Tinley.
year, it won't be
or in the near
any
future?
evolution this year. We're waiting now on the impossible for Tinley. We will always do Tinley, but we would love to get an additional table. And so if we can have
Mm,
2
that's
slots,
hard.
that would be actually, but we
It's
love our
hard.
spot
Yeah.
where we finally landed at after so
Yeah,
many
Hmm.
shows.
I
It
It
is
know.
took you a
very,
while, didn't it?
yeah, and it takes
How
even
long was that
longer to
wait
get
list
more
for
than
you?
one table. Oh, it was
Mhm.
4 years just to get a table.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Imagine
4
if you
years.
started with ball pythons.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
There would have not been, yeah, we wouldn't have been able
Let's not say it would have not been. No, hypothetically speaking, I think we would have a table right now. And the reason I say we would have a table
probably
right
by
now,
now by this point.
because we tend to do things in a very unorthodox manner. We
Mhm.
number one, we flew out actually to our first Tinley to be there in person.
Mhm.
and spoke with Brian Potter and Bob after being on the wait list for so many times. And finally, like 2 shows after that, we ended up getting in.
We have found that if you annoy somebody
They
enough.
actually asked to be say call and call and call, and that's what we ended up doing. But I say all that because they also you gotta attend those auctions, the USARK auctions.
Mhm.
They're very
Mhm.
important. So
Mhm.
reason I say it's unorthodox, some people may not see things being worth it, but they had an auction for a table about 2 shows ago at
Yeah, I
10,
saw that.
and it sold
Yeah.
for $9,000 or something like
Something.
that. Oh, if you're telling us for whatever the dollar amount long as we can do it, you're
Mhm.
gonna pay that amount and you're in the next Tinley, we would do it. So
Mm.
it is what it is.
No, I know it's a hot commodity. It's funny how many people ask me, "Hey, when are you gonna vend Tinley?" I'm like,
Yeah, same here. I get asked a lot like,
yeah.
"Oh, what table are you gonna be at?" And I'm like, "I really wish. I
I would
hope and
say,
pray for
but
that day."
honestly though, being where you guys are, in my opinion, looking at you because we watch you guys. You need to get on
Thank
that
you.
list. Even before you're ready,
Shit.
you need to get on that
Yeah,
list.
got
And
get
with
on the
your
wait list.
personalities especially, I mean, oh man, we've been saying this since 15 minutes of lane. We've been saying this from meeting you in person, John, and watching all of your
Your
reels.
rails,
You
yes.
Thanks.
guys need to, because what ends up happening, even we're just talking about getting a table, even if it was the snakes, how do you set yourself apart? You know, if you're
Mhm.
working these projects that everyone may be working, a lot of people
Mhm.
want to buy from you just because they want to buy from you,
Mhm.
Mhm.
period. So if you don't have anything about you, you don't put anything out there, then you're kind of gonna fall into a weird spot. Both of you
Mhm.
have things about you. You're gonna build a following and it's gonna continue to build. Therefore, you're going to gain more of a following that's gonna want to come and see you in person.
Honey, I thought I was gonna bust a gut when Bobby broke out the uk
The
yeah,
ukulele? I think I
yeah.
have it here somewhere. Not
I was like,
Bobby's got that
"Oh
dad
my
humor.
gosh."
Or the news reporter.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Uh, Thank you.
You
That
were
was
just
awesome.
awesome.
I was sitting in this chair. I had to compete. I don't know. It was kind of fun,
And you should.
but I appreciate the compliment. So, yeah, we were thinking about even with Tinley, maybe having just a few animals, but then doing live podcasts together,
Right.
Yes,
and advertising it that way. So,
there has been that before.
yeah, what was the girls? What are their names? They did that, I think.
Wild type?
The Wild Type.
Is
Yeah,
it?
love that name,
I
by the
missed
way.
it.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I seen
I
Yeah.
I
Brian,
know this is not on the gecko
Brian
side of
Cusco.
things.
Hmm.
Brian Cusco has done one, but on
Mhm.
the MJ with Trap Talk did
Yeah.
one. He did like a
Yeah.
live
Hmm.
one from Tinley. There was a bunch of people like in and out that particular day. Because I think he ran it for a long time. So yeah, there's that
I'm
definite
just always worried the internet at Tinley is god awful, and
I was gonna
Right.
say
in
the
peak time
reception is so spotty.
terrible.
Right.
when you're
Where's
trying to find
Marlene?
somebody and text them on Instagram like, "Hey, let's meet up." That's not going to
Mhm.
happen.
Yeah, but
Good times.
yeah, I think a podcast from Tinley would be excellent. Like
Right.
if you could get that worked out, because they, I will say, like at Bob's show, there's like a whole row of podcasters,
Mhm.
that have done that. And what other show where they a Daytona maybe? Yeah, Daytona, because Herp Collectors was down there
Yeah.
doing a live podcast, and several of the shows.
I would say for the podcast realm, in my opinion, the
Mhm.
more the better.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion, but I
Yeah.
have seen that a lot of people don't like the podcast. You have a lot of people that literally are cannibalizing the community and they're
Mhm.
just being negative about it. But if you
Mhm.
think about it, everyone that has a podcast has their own spin. They have their own perspective.
Mhm.
They have their own topics they want to kind of
Well, and they have their
elaborate
own
on.
following
Right.
too.
So I think I think the more the better. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
I'm with you because every time that I'm feeding my geckos, it goes way faster
Exactly.
when
I
I'm
need
listening to a
something to
good
listen
podcast.
to. I need something to
Like I
listen to.
almost saved after this. I got to go, feed my geckos, and I almost saved David's podcast
Right.
on the brand new morph that just came out,
See,
and
I
I'm
I
like,
did save it.
yeah, I just might rewatch it. So
Yeah.
It was awesome.
albino. Anyway, I no, that's so okay. Going back to your setup, so you've always kind of evolving. You would love to have two tables. The banners. I don't think people realize how much it costs to invest into good marketing for your booth. You don't have to give us exact numbers, but just ballpark for like an area that's one table at Tinley. Like banners are expensive, aren't they?
I think, well, it's hard to say. I think it's
Like,
relative.
what would you recommend just someone starting out? What do they need?
I would say go double-sided banner front and back. You can do a smaller 8x8 banner, which is just as good. I think ours is 8x10. We have 3 of them.
Yeah.
But they're
Yes. Yes.
roughly 600.
Yeah.
They're roughly 600, $650,
Yeah.
free shipping.
Yeah.
There are also smaller ones that are available if you wanna kinda do a spread out kinda setup
Mhm.
where it
Yeah.
kinda makes it more unique,
Yeah.
and different than everyone's bigger banners.
Yeah, so, like, if you're thinking 1, so, like, you're gonna at least wanna kinda put in 600, about 600 bucks, 5, 600 bucks for your banner, and then depending on how you set it up, for us at Tinley, we have 2 of the Billy bookshelves, the tall
Mhm.
ones from
Mhm.
IKEA.
Mhm.
We brought them home and sprayed them with, like, the Herculiner stuff,
Yep.
in black, which
It
is
was a process.
out really good, and then we put those in our trailer. We're actually doing something a little different this time around. We've we've rented another minivan.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
See how that goes. Um, I'm trying out different vehicles. I told him, I said, "Let's just, like, rent some different vehicles and try them out and see how I like them
Great
so
idea.
that I can get a mama mobile or something like that."
Nice. Hey, you know what the best part is
alright.
with those cars,
He's older than me.
what when you go to, like, Home Depot next time, imagine what you can fit in that thing. It's
Right.
better than a pickup truck sometimes, so, you
Yeah,
True.
know? I
yeah.
love it.
One thing I
And
will
you're
Mhm.
say
already
about the
married, so you're not
banners.
trying to pick someone up, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was this movie with, I think it was Vin Diesel in it. It was like Red something, Red whatever, but he was like a CIA agent and he was babysitting these kids and he's got like this baby, puts his baby in the
Yep.
minivan and he's like,
Yep. He's
you know,
whipping it around. Yep.
whipping around. The kids jump out and they're like, "Land!" because they're so afraid of him.
There's a
That's
random
This
duck in
bitch
that
wants
movie
to
too.
move. Yeah, yeah, but,
great.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
so we're the bookcases, getting back to topic, our tablecloth covers, and our banner things that go over our
Table
tables,
runners,
the
yep.
table runners.
Mhm.
And then, of course, we do displays. We have
mhm.
ARS displays and Dreamco displays. Dreamco is no longer doing it, I do believe, right?
Right, they're shut down.
They're shut down. And then we, of course, have our tower.
Yeah, we have some
Um,
custom made stuff, but the
yeah.
bare minimum you're wanna gonna have for your banner that's, about literally about 600 bucks. If you can do that, even a traditional black tablecloth that's fitted, something that looks rather professional, you can do that as well. It really will be budget friendly,
Mm,
but
Mhm.
you just wanna look at it in a manner of what goes well with your brand.
Mhm.
We kinda throw little accent things. We have these plastic gems that go inside our cases,
I've
and
seen
they look
that.
I love that.
yeah.
diamonds, get
You
a lot of questions on
yes,
them.
you would not believe how many questions. Do they like those?
Yes, like, oh my
Are
god.
they
That's
real?
Are they
funny.
Yes.
real? Can
Yes,
I
they're all real
buy
rubies.
I buy one? I'm like, "It's plastic." Go to Amazon.
I'm only buying a
Someone's
gecko
trying to
from you
steal
if it
one?
comes with a diamond. That's the only
Okay,
way I'll
Right.
buy one.
you will get a diamond. Red or
That's
clear?
awesome.
Rubies or diamonds, which
That's right.
one?
So just trying to put
One
Speaking
your
of
thing I
own
will
stealing
say.
high valuable things though, do you
Mhm.
ever you've got your cases, right, which mitigate some theft or worry, but do you guys ever worry about theft or worry about, just the safety of your animals while you're there? I know that could be a bigger thing if you just have deli cups sitting on a table, but do you have any recommendations or tips on animal safety,
tips
with your animal?
would be if
Anything loose, you're gonna wanna secure.
right, so deli cups on your
Mhm.
table, you wanna kinda remove them from your table. Any
Yeah.
type of merch, that you're concerned about, you wanna kinda put them away, tuck them away, maybe under your table. If you're that wary of where you are, you may wanna take an additional 10, 15 minutes toward the end of the closing day to maybe, cup up some of your geckos, maybe bring them back to where you're staying,
Yeah.
just to make sure that they're actually safe if you're worried about them.
We used to do that
Yeah, we used
actually
to do that
when we
too.
first started just because obviously we didn't know how tight security was and all that kind of thing. And now we know they're for real.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, especially Tinley, honey, they are sweeping that floor at the last, and they are not letting you back in there. They lock it down.
But it's show specific, so you gotta make
Yeah, it's
sure.
very show
Mhm.
specific. Yeah, but we used
Yeah.
to, all of our animals with us every
Mhm.
day and take them back with us. And now, they of course stay there in their locked enclosures. But now if there's, like our tower or something like that, if we feel like we want to take some with us, give them a little
Mhm.
bit of extra hydration or something like that overnight, like we're afraid it's a little dry or something like that, we might do that. But most of the time, temperature and humidity is controlled pretty well in there.
Mhm.
Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, I loved, it was one thing I was worried about when I vended, was security, and luckily the people to the right and left of me were really friendly people, because that's the other thing too, is you make friends when you're vending with other vendors, and, they just reassured me that they've done this a ton of times and that they've never had an issue, and because I didn't have anything locked up, I actually, since it was my first show, I was buying the banner for the first time, buying the runner. They actually said at Schaumburg that we were gonna get tablecloths, so we just had a runner, and we didn't get a tablecloth, so we had to run, luckily, uh, you know, we got
Hopefully that
that
stays in
squared
your
away.
box.
Yeah, that
Yes,
stays in
yes,
your
it
box.
is. It's there.
No matter what.
That and the extra light I bought, but the one thing that I did was I actually went and custom made. I had a bunch of styrofoam that I was making a background for one of my enclosures, and I had a huge piece left over. And I'm like, you know what? I'm Gecko Cove. What if I carve out a cove,
Mhm.
paint this thing, put palm trees on it, and then drill holes that are the size of the deli cups, and I put it all around the cove. And it was so cool. It was so much fun, and put acrylic for the water. Yeah, so it was like a second grade diorama, but for my geckos.
I love those things. I made those when I was in grade school. Did you make dioramas?
That's before my time.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it was after your time.
Yeah.
'Cause you're
But
you're
yeah, so though
Actually,
they're fun.
we could show something off that's actually helpful, something new that we're actually doing. Just give us a second.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
do it.
It'd be
I'm all
awesome.
for it. It's great. We're getting an inside peek. Some cutting
Yeah,
edge tech. I like this.
cutting edge tech. I don't know about that. Y'all, we forgot our lights the last show that we went to.
Right.
So
No.
now we'll never forget them.
Normally, we bring the boxes that we originally bought the
Mhm.
lights in, and
Yeah.
we keep putting them back in, taking them out, back in
Mm,
the original box. Now we have two of these.
ah.
So it's a big case. It's a Vivor case. It's hard
Mhm.
Looks like
plastic.
you're going to the shooting range.
I
It
know,
is.
right?
They're like rifle boxes.
So it's really cool too. Let's see if we can give you guys another view of it. So you snap the hooks open.
I can't get leverage. I have
That's
short arms.
so we're gonna try not to tilt them out, but and then we actually cut them in.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, that looks awesome.
I would imagine that probably protects a little bit better than the box that they
Yeah,
actually came in.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, and you can press stuff up against it
Yep.
and not have to worry about whatever's pressed up against it damaging your lights, but also like the stuff that you press up against, it can be used as like when you're packing your vehicle as something that you can wedge things against.
Plus,
Mhm.
now you have
Yeah.
two big boxes that's heavily protected that you're
Yeah.
traveling with, and when you're bringing them in and out of the actual location, you're not fumbling around with six light boxes that's falling on the
Yeah.
ground and everything.
Oh, it
Mhm.
pissed me
Mm.
off so quick. I've been carrying it and there it went out of the box. I'm like, he can see it
That
all
is
over my
awesome.
Yeah,
face too.
definitely.
He's like, calm down, calm down. Let your anxiety get the best
Oh
of you.
yeah.
I saw a few couples vending together, and there was some arguments. I'm like, wow. Like, I saw someone drop an entire enclosure and the glass
Oh,
shatter,
Oh,
you know? So, like, as much as I would love my wife to jump in and do this with me, I could see it testing us quite a bit. So I give you credit that you guys are not killing each other.
I will tell you that
I want to kill him, but
ARS
You're
is
plotting it.
ARS is an
yeah,
awesome company for tray cases because
yes.
their glass tops are only $12 a piece. Only $12 a piece, and they do Saturday delivery. Don't ask us why we know.
very nice. Good to know.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let's
Very
just
random
say
information with no.
I was cleaning them and they decided to just be blown by the wind off of the place I had them sitting on. I mean, I was outside, like, rinsing them out, really good because
Mhm.
it's really easy when you're cleaning your displays to go outside and put
Mhm.
your cleaner in and just use the hose pipe and run across them
Mhm.
and then take your little sponge or whatever you got and sponge them out. And so I pull the glass tops out of the displays and I set them to the side. Well, they were kind of like on the top of one of the other cases, and the wind came by and blew and knocked them all off. And I'm like, WTF? Oh my God. Like, what the crap? Like, I cannot believe this.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah. And so he comes up because he was in the facility and I was like actually in the side of our house doing this. And he comes up and I was like, if I tell you something, can you promise you won't be mad? He's like, what? Said, I broke the glass. He's like, okay, we'll figure it out. No, you know,
I
done.
actually got on the
So
phone.
he handled it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
awesome.
that's what husbands are for.
Try to make it a little bit better, right? That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm glad it got resolved and it,
Yeah.
it, it all worked out. All right, so you're now there, you're set up, you're vending, you're exhausted, but you got a little bit of sleep, hopefully,
Oh,
right?
Thursday night we
Now,
go coma style.
yeah, we out.
yeah, there you go. Love it.
From a buyer's perspective, what are your do's and don'ts of Tinley if you're going to buy? As someone who's vended and as someone who sells, and as a customer,
Tinley is one of those things that, and you guys can probably attest to this because you've been there. Tinley is one of those shows that is very hard to stand and talk at a booth for much longer than a few minutes unless you know what you want and you're there to like make your purchase or whatever. For us, it's a little different, but even at Tinley, just because there's so many people and it gets so congested, that was one of the big reasons why we set up our booth the way we set it up. So how we set our booth up makes it a little bit more comfortable
Welcoming.
and welcoming for our customers and our visitors and whatnot. Because there are always going to be those people who see you every time who may not buy something every time, but they want to come by and speak to you and talk because they haven't
Mhm.
seen you in 6 months or whatever. Um, the way we set our booth up is instead of being behind the table, we get an extra table and we open it up and then you're able to walk in to our booth. So the one thing that I will say is that it always it's something that I get frustrated because I'm like, I want to be able to speak and talk to
Mhm.
everyone. And a lot of times, if you stand there and you talk to that vendor for 30 plus minutes, other people aren't getting an opportunity to
Mhm.
kind of step in and speak and have conversation and ask their questions that they want to ask. So, one thing I will say is I have gotten to the point now where if somebody is talking to me for an extended period of time, I'll say, I'm not cutting you off. I'm not being rude, but let me speak to this person, make sure they
Mhm.
don't have any questions or anything, and I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Perspective. If you're looking for a crested gecko, try to gain as much information, as much knowledge on them as possible. Obviously, we're
Mhm.
going to tell you everything that we know. We're going to tell you how we go about doing everything that we do, and just tell you that that's a way. That's not the only
Mhm.
way, but that's a way. You name it, pretty much we've tried it, whether it's, building enclosures, bioactive, whatever it may be. Actually, John does a great job on his Instagram on talking positively about tubs.
Yep.
We're
Yeah.
huge advocates of tubs, and a lot of people professionally, I agree with you. A lot of people kind of
Mhm.
look down upon it. We do
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
um,
Mhm. We've done
we
it.
love it.
We've done it
Yeah,
all. I mean,
we've done it
Mhm.
and
all.
we still have, certain things like we have
Right,
PVC
and it has
enclosures
nothing to
and
do with quality or,
no.
Yeah,
pricing.
exactly.
It has nothing
It's a
to do with
preference.
any of it.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's
Yes.
preference. So getting that knowledge, getting that information. As far as, we're also a little different when it comes to the revenue stream as well. I know a lot of breeders and vendors, they say, "Hey, bring cash." That's perfect. Bring cash. We bring
We like cash,
change. We like it all. We take all the things.
but we take all the things.
We
Yeah.
take everything.
Yeah.
So,
You're telling me if I brought silver billions, you're
Yes.
hey,
game? Do I just put it in
bring
your
'em on
pirate's
back.
chest? All right.
You might take a loss on that one,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
Go ahead and bring gold.
That's
Bring
great.
yeah.
a brick of gold there, but
Yeah. we'll bring diamonds for Flawless, you know?
Yes,
Why not?
yes, no. BS, baby.
VVS, bring them
There you
on.
go.
But
That's
yeah,
great.
that is one thing I will say. For a consumer, a lot of your vendors who just vend, who don't really do a lot of their businesses online or things like that, or maybe they don't have like a store or anything, they just go vend. A lot of them don't like to accept other things besides cash.
Right.
So I would say, from a buyer's perspective, make sure you have a little cash just in case you come across an animal that you really like that is at a table where they don't.
But if you don't, you can definitely come to us.
But
and take
yeah, if
our
you
animal.
don't,
Yeah.
come to us because we're gonna take
Flawless
it
makes the
all.
sale. They don't. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's
You could
a good
literally,
point that from a seller's perspective, the more
Yeah,
opportunities to sell the
Yeah,
gecko, right?
exactly.
If you're not saying
absolutely.
it's only cash, they only
yeah,
have a credit card, or it's Sunday
Yeah,
and the banks
that's
are
money on the
closed.
table still. Yeah.
Yeah, it allows a lot more
Well,
flexibility.
you also don't want to kinda dabble in other people's personal life too much, you
no,
wanna
Mhm.
be able if someone wants to be
Yes.
irresponsible, I mean,
Yes.
by all
they should
Mhm.
be
means.
able to be irresponsible. But,
Mhm.
we're also gonna steer you in the right direction if you have a question, project, or anything like that as well. We just know with a lot of the projects that, we work with, a lot of the geckos that we've sold, much like you've dealt with already now, somebody comes in and they look at that, $4,000 gecko, $2,000 gecko, it is not out of the range of a lot of people that are there. They may come
Yeah.
and spend
Oh yeah,
It would be kind of funny if someone came with $10,000 in cash and just plopped
I
that
feel
down
like
in
that.
front of you.
I feel like that's got to be a thing that happens at Tinley,
that's
though. If
happened.
it's
Yeah.
that
anywhere,
That
it's at
happens.
happened.
Yeah,
Tinley.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
happened.
that's
Mhm.
happened. And
You
and
sit
way
there,
more
count the
at
Yeah,
hundreds.
yeah.
other like
That's happened more than
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
it
more than
gets it
that.
gets a little crazy.
It gets crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as like Tinley from a buyer's perspective, just try to understand that there are people there that they go to buy. They know
Right.
what they want, they're prepared, and they're there to purchase, not just to look.
One more thing to add to that that probably the viewers don't see or hear very often. You go, you purchase your animal, everything is good, you got all your information. Make sure you're fully prepared for that animal, meaning you have the animal, you're either going home, you're leaving, you're not going and putting the animal in the car and
Yeah,
coming
we're not
back
going to stick it in a
inside.
car and then go hang out
Yeah,
with a
dude.
friend for
Yes,
5 hours. Like,
please
we're not
don't
Yeah,
do
doing
no.
that.
that.
Good thing is like, so even some your people who literally they have had geckos. They
Mhm.
know how to do it. And there've been times where we've had people say, "Oh my gosh, I accidentally stuck them in the back seat and we were driving and by the time
Oh,
we got
yeah, yeah.
home something happened." And
Yeah.
what it was is
So sad.
anytime you put them on the dash or even in the
Hmm.
seat where sun can actually come through the glass and into that clear cup, it's like a magnifying effect.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
gonna cook
literally
them.
you're going to cook them. So we always, always, always tell every customer, no matter what your skill level is, you could be Brian. Like, don't forget, don't stick them on the dash, put them underneath if you're going somewhere. I mean, but, laugh because it's Brian, but seriously, like we always tell people, hey, make sure
Hmm.
you just put them underneath in the shaded area in your car and go straight home with them. Don't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Don't do anything like
And I feel like even adding on to that, if you have, a long drive ahead of you, like it's a 6 hour drive for me, not near as much as you guys, but still that's a pretty lengthy road trip. I
Right.
bring shipping boxes and cryo packs
that.
and I
Yep.
stick them in there with the cryo pack.
Yep.
Just
Mhm.
little things like that, just to make sure they're safe.
Well, and also, like, I do most of my shopping on Friday. I'll be honest with you.
Hmm.
So I've gotten to the point where VIP tickets are a must for me,
That's
Yes.
and
smart.
not all vendors are up
You
and
ready?
running Friday.
Nope, they're
Are you
not.
guys usually?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are we are literally coming in there, and as soon as we can see people that are walking through the doors, we're like, we're in there.
yeah.
Typically, by the time people are coming in at 2, we're done. If we're not done, we're because we used to be setting up forever,
Yeah.
but now we've sort of streamlined it so much is that as long as everything's prepped prior to, and there's nothing that's like we forgot to do or anything, I mean, we're ready to go at like 2. We may be putting like mystery boxes or something like that together, but other than that, mystery boxes really aren't for people who know what they want. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you're
saying?
right, exactly.
Sometimes it's fun for people who know what they want. They just come in, and we've had that happen where they'll just grab a couple and they're like, I just want to do
I
it.
just had an aha moment. We talking
Mhm.
about preparation and everything for Tinley. One thing that's helped us tremendously streamline and on the efficiency of time is masking tape that Audra mentioned earlier. When we label everything, that's what we utilize, and then we put everything out and into display. Now, normally you would think stack your lids up. Okay, cool. Now when it's time to maybe pack everything up, you go through. No, when we
Mm.
put everything out, we pull them labels, the tape off, and we throw it away. Now, what we
Mm,
do is when it's time to pack up, we go and do the same process we did when we were here at home, and we write new
Mhm.
labels because now we can go
Okay.
gecko to gecko and cup up
Mhm.
and get
Yeah.
moving.
So we're
There's
not
no finding the old
well,
Yeah,
labels.
okay, what number
Yeah.
is this?
yeah.
Find it.
Where's it
No,
at?
we
Yeah,
just go through.
Okay.
we had to learn at
that's
the
Nice.
smart.
park.
Yeah.
I bet that saves quite a lot of time, actually. Yeah.
Masking tape is very cheap, and
Yes.
we can stand that. When we only do, like, what,
Mhm.
7-ish shows a year, 8
Right.
shows a year.
Mhm.
So for us, like, masking tape is cheap.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah,
worth the money,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
definitely.
Literally can cut down,
Yeah.
like, an hour or
Yeah.
I
more
was gonna say, yeah.
Mhm.
of your time.
So if going back to Friday,
Yeah.
right? You guys are all set up. Somebody buys a gecko from you. I know that like typically I'll do one of two things. When I first started out, I'd ask the breeder, "Can you hold on to this for me? Because I know I'm going to be around, and I'm not going home right away." And I've never been told no, so very very
You shouldn't
seldomly,
be told that.
right? But the other thing is like, as you make friends in the industry and stuff, and if you want to kind of put your stuff under someone else's,
Uh-huh.
table, that's also another option. So, as long as there's a place for them to be, what I don't want to see is you take your animal and you walk around with a deli cup all over for 4 or 5
Right.
hours,
Mhm.
right?
The first time I went, I did that, and it was never again. I
Yeah.
learned real quick to ask for help.
So the one thing I do every so often is we got a wedding gift a long time ago where it's a wine bag. And my wife said, "This is kind of the perfect size for your deli cups. It's got a divider in the middle." And they slide straight down, and it's the perfect size for
I've
2
seen it. It
bottles of
looks like it
wine
was made
and
for
2
it.
deli cups, and so it's insulated, so, you don't have to worry about the heat and the cold, and they don't jostle around, they don't move, and so when I'm really shopping for a lot of geckos, I have my Merce, and, it carries my geckos. Yeah, and it works. So, weird things you find around the house. Yeah. Very cool. I'll take a picture of the brand and send it to you. Your Gecko Merce. It'll be the new swag that you give out this year. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I
exactly.
love it.
What would actually
Yeah,
be
that would be cool.
that's
Very cool.
Fridays
All
are always
right.
good, yeah. Fridays are always like that, like, once you're set up, it's pretty relaxing to
Yeah,
end, you know?
definitely.
And so and then Saturday I feel like is a long day, but it's also sort of
Saturday's a
what it
long day because we also
yeah.
have like a Patreon dinner and all that.
Yeah, we're
Mm.
always going on with some and then Sunday is always one of those days, like, it's nice in the morning that we don't have to be there quite as early. We usually
Mhm.
try to get us
Mhm.
a decent breakfast somewhere, and then
Mhm,
we come and 'cause, time to pack up and head back to the for that 11-hour trip home because we do not stay Sunday night. We just
Right.
yeah.
power through.
Mhm.
Go
But
right through.
we're probably one of the last vendors that stay. Like we stay to the end.
Yeah, we do. We
Mhm.
don't ever
So
start
Some don't even come Sunday,
yeah, we stay
I'm always surprised with that.
The only thing that I will do, I'll start about 20, maybe 30 minutes before
on the
close.
lids.
I'll
Okay.
start getting out my lids and start writing, like, because the way our displays are, it's like 3 levels of 5 geckos, so they're like 15, and what I'll do is right beside them, I'll do I'll write right across on the lids and stack those particular geckos' lids right there beside their
Mhm.
particular line, and so it
Prep
makes it
work.
easy. It's prep, yeah. But, then we can just pick up the lid, put the gecko in, pick up the lid, the next lid, put the gecko
And
in,
we've
and
we've
it's
learned
done.
to kind of really stay pretty much to the last minute because we want to make that engagement too. It's not just the sales.
Mhm.
Yep.
We found ourselves at I forgot which show we were at, but one of our followers literally ran in
That
at
was
the
Tinley.
last, was it
That was
10?
Tinley. We got
And
pictures with
when
him.
I tell you,
He was
I was thrown
precious.
off.
Yeah, we
There
were
was a
thrown off.
guy, I mean, he was in tears.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So
I follow you.
that's
You
worth
guys are a big deal. I'm telling you.
that's
You
worth
know,
it. That is worth it
That
1,000
was
times over.
absolutely.
that's been sort of a fun thing to me. It's like kind of surreal almost at
Yeah.
times. It's like, you know, because I'm like, we're just people. We
Yeah,
put our
regular people.
heads on
Mhm.
the same way
Mhm.
everybody else does. And I don't even think of us like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, with 15 minutes of lane, that was
Mhm.
so much fun because I was like shocked. I was
Right.
shocked. I was
Mhm.
really shocked that that happened and the popular vote or whatever. I was like, no, like I was like,
Congratulations on that, by the
to
way.
believe that. Like,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
It was just it was a blessing and like an honor to be with you guys. So for us to actually get that, that was really awesome.
Plus, we gotta
It's
face
really
it, right?
You deserve it.
In this world, even with podcasts, with branding, everything we do, we all see that. I mean, it's painfully honest, obvious that negativity sells. Like if you
oh
start something right
yeah.
now and you're just nasty and negative, I mean, it will shoot through the roof.
Yep.
The
The
problem
algorithm loves it.
there's just
Yes.
really
Yes.
no staying power
Right.
with that. It doesn't add anything to the world that
Right.
we
And what
live
are you gonna
in.
attract at that point? So
Yeah.
that's why, like literally, we never went down that, we will
Mm-mm.
never go down that route. So then you also deal with the other side of it where we know we're not perfect. We know that.
Mhm.
We just
Mhm.
try to make everything we come in
You're
contact.
not flawless?
Only the
We're not perfect.
geckos.
We strive to
We
be
strive to
flawless.
be
That's
flawless.
Only the
There you go.
We're
geckos.
not perfect. We
so,
strive to be
but
flawless.
we want to try to make
Yeah.
everything a little
Mhm.
bit better when we come into contact with a situation, and
That
it's very
comes
important.
that honestly comes from our police backgrounds because we've seen some of the things that nobody really needs to see. And because of that, like the little the things that people really get upset about
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of things are not that important, guys. Like
Right.
it's really not. It may seem that way in that minute. But if literally I look at it as a rule of five. If this particular thing that's happening to you is not gonna matter, it's not gonna cause you any pain or heartache or change your life dramatically in 5 years from now, then you shouldn't be spending more than 5 minutes on it.
Right.
Just wash it away, get over it, let it roll off your shoulder, and move forward.
But also doing that, you're gonna find that that growth phase
It's
is
slow.
slow.
Yeah.
It's like a snail's
Yeah.
pace. Yeah, because people definitely, I guess, they think normal and peaceful and positivity is
Mhm.
boring sometimes.
Plus, you're always waiting for that other foot to drop.
But you're attracting the right people. And,
Right.
and
Yeah.
honestly, you guys, you are such great role models for anybody who's getting into this hobby at any stage. Even you're good role models for people who have been here for a long time and should follow your lead, And I got to give it to you because, a lot of people say that they do what you say you do, but I've seen it. I've seen it in action. And, the way that you handle yourselves, the way that you present yourselves, it's very professional. Sometimes I sound like, I'll say something and be like, I shouldn't have said that. I'm an idiot. Right. I don't get that from you guys as much. I guarantee you probably think it, you're just a great, great example of staying out of the drama and
Mhm.
doing things in such a positive way. And I think that's a lot of it. I know it might be a slow grow, but I think that's why you guys have become as successful as you are. And I think that's why you're also very approachable. I think there's a lot of people that I used to idolize or, kind of had that YouTube fame or whatever it may be. And you meet them in person and not that anybody's bad. It's a small community. Everybody's been great, but there are certain people that are more approachable than others. There are certain
Mhm.
people that, just give off that positive energy. And other people are like, you could tell
Mhm.
they think their stuff doesn't stink very much,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
always a hard
people
one to
can tell.
swallow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
yeah. We just
yeah,
always
but
we never wanted to be that way.
Yeah. No.
We just always feel like, I don't know, like if you can't leave this community more positive than when you came, then maybe you just don't need to be in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's too small. And that's the other thing, kind of going back to your double-edged sword with the negativity is okay, you may get a bunch of, Instagram likes or TikTok likes, whatever it may be. But most of those aren't coming from people who are going to be here in 5 years,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And so if you're really loving this as much as I know the four of us are,
Mhm.
you need to play the long game. And so we all know each other. I could tell you when you
Yep.
buy a gecko, even if they left the hobby, if you've been in it long enough, you could
Yeah.
track back that lineage.
A
You
lot of
know who
times
that breeder
it gets to the
was.
point where I
And
can look at a gecko and know what breeder it came
Yeah.
from.
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So
I get that way too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we,
oh
we
yeah.
think everybody's into geckos, and then you go to a family reunion, you're the weird guy with geckos.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
what? That's a thing? You have a podcast? What? So do they smell? I bet.
Yeah.
Don't you just catch those outside? I got 50 of them.
People say that all the
That's
time.
Yeah. That's not
They always say,
not what
or,
we do.
or our old police friends, they're like, "You still doing the gecko thing?" I'm
The
like,
thing.
Yes.
The gecko thing.
Thing
Yep.
is
I've
the
gotten
full
that.
business.
Correct.
We've been
Yes.
doing
Yeah,
this
it's
whole
like it
Went
thing.
on vacation with the gecko
It
thing.
keeps my
Yes.
lights on,
Right?
It's my little gecko thing.
Well,
Man, I love it.
hilarious.
it keeps
So,
him from
okay.
doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You got to love what you do. So, speaking of loving and what you do, the show is a great time. And the hours that the show's running, you're on and you're interacting, you're selling, you're doing all those things. What is your favorite thing outside of those hours when you go to shows? Let's just talk about Tinley.
She's like,
Okay, sleeping's a great answer.
That's fair. That's so fair. The best sleep I ever get is when I
That
go to
was
Tinley.
quick. I
Let me explain. So,
think we get it.
as
no, right.
let me explain. I am super ADHD, right? And I also okay, he will say I'm not, but I really am. I'm like an introvert with extroverted qualities. Okay. So whenever I'm on, but then it wears me out so much because I put all that emotion into it and I take on other people's emotions and vibes and all those things. It just is like, I'm dead. Like I need to literally recharge my batteries so that I can actually give the best of myself tomorrow again. And then after we come back, man, I'm exhausted for days. Like, huh,
For me, it's the networking, even outside the event. A lot of the times we meet up,
Mm.
Friday night, Saturday night,
I go.
USR
Yeah.
the auction. So I think those are really,
Yeah.
really key points of the trip. I think those are the best periods for me.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, I mean, when we're going out to dinner and stuff like that, I mean, this is like family. You know what I'm saying?
You wish
You
you had
guys
body
are,
doubles because a lot of the times you end up getting invited to 4 or 5
yeah, and you can't
different.
go.
You can't
But
do
we
everything. at the
did
same
one
time.
year,
Yeah, we were.
and I was
body
like,
jumping. Like,
I'm exhausted. I need to go home. I need to go back.
yeah.
And he's like, I promise we would come. I was like, okay,
It's like we'll
okay.
leave at midnight.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can do it. But we went somewhere with somebody for dinner, and then afterwards we went 30 minutes down the road somewhere else and stayed for a while. And I mean, when I'm there, I'm in it, but then it really does.
That just
It wears
happens
me out.
when you
It
marry
hits
an
you.
older woman.
That-
Gotta, take care of 'em.
Older than me. He's older than me. Older than me. It's when you
So
make
you'll love this.
an
My
emotional.
wife is 6 months older than me, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my kids, I didn't even teach them this. I couldn't pay them for this, but they rub it in every chance they get that mommy's older. The daggers I get, it's phenomenal.
My goodness.
Yeah. Ooh, let's play a game. How old do you think I am?
Yeah.
I would say.
He's gonna say you're older.
The maturity level is way lower.
Are you?
Well, we could have told you that.
Yeah, I know.
30.
I hang out with you.
30.
30? Is that your final guess? You each get a guess. There's two of you.
I would have said 34.
I am turning 39
Holy shit!
next month. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I turned
Mm-hmm.
turned 40 this past October.
Congratulations. It's a
We
fun
get
age,
Social Security.
Yeah. I'm old enough to say no to going out sometimes. It's great.
No, yeah.
He's 43,
I
so
already say that. What does that mean for me? What
all
what
right,
is that?
John, you're in your 20s still. I can feel that.
I'm in my 20s. You got me there. I am in my 20s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I
I
can
would I would
definitely.
say he's 25.
Yeah, maybe.
25.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
the
Is
answer, so
that
I can't play.
Final guess.
My range is 24 to 26.
I just turned 23 a couple months ago.
Wow,
crap.
your mustache and stuff.
Yes, definitely.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
If
that's
I
what's
if
Your
I shave the mustache, I look
Yeah.
like I'm 18 years old.
facial hair always makes somebody look more. Not, I don't necessarily know that it's older per se, but it's just more mature, I think.
Mm-hmm.
so.
No, it's
I
a
can't
gift
grow
from my
facial
dad.
hair. I don't know if you guys realize this,
Really?
but I had really bad like beard envy, especially hanging out with John. And then we were getting to the 15 minutes of lame, and everybody who breeds snakes has facial hair. I swear to God. I tried to grow facial hair for it. And I don't know if you guys even noticed that I was trying to grow a beard during like I watched back actually during the
Yep.
debate. I shaved the next day because I can't even see it on screen. It's so bad. Oh, good times, man. So after that, yeah. So okay,
That's awesome.
I want to kind of pivot to the elephant in the room when anytime we're talking about shows, the big thing that comes up these days are Palm Street and now recently Morph Market Live. We did a podcast on it. You guys did
Mhm.
a YouTube video
We
on it, which
used
I
your
loved.
Morph Market Live as a reference for our
We
podcast.
did, yes. So, what is your take? Do you find that affects uh, just the attendance of most shows? Do you find that it hurts shows in any way, or is it just another thing next to it or in
I
conjunction
don't
with?
think it's going to hurt shows. I think your show goers are going to be your show goers no matter what. I think, honestly, I think opposite. I think there's so many more. We were just talking about this. There's so many people, customers, potential customers out there that's never been to a show, like ever, and will never be at a show.
Mhm.
They just enjoy the species that they enjoy, and they're very happy that they can get it shipped to their home or to their FedEx hub and go and pick it up. You have a lot of people actually in the reptile community that are true introverts and don't like people.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Lot.
a lot,
Mhm.
Some have their own reasons,
a
and that's
lot.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine. But we think still that the auction platforms as a whole, both auction platforms, are positive.
Mhm.
I was watching the trends of different things. I don't know if you guys are big on eBay. We still have an eBay account. We used to be really big on it back in the
No,
day.
he was.
Now it's more Amazon and everything
He's
else.
got like over 2,000
Yeah,
transactions
on
on
eBay.
eBay.
Nice.
I do not have any.
We're
Like,
back at
I used to
Pokemon
buy
cards.
trading cards in the day.
Interesting.
Snipe
People
on those
hire you.
auctions.
this is aging him. You see
But
that?
no,
He
but it's
just
not,
aged
because
himself.
keep watching now, because I thought something was very interesting just last week. Here it is. You have Palm Street Live. You got Morph
Morph
Market
Market.
Live. And guess what pops up on my phone on eBay?
eBay
eBay has
Live.
lives now.
Yeah.
When
They were
they're running
selling the
live
crap out of some
auctions.
Pokemon cards.
So, and
Yeah.
bullion,
And
silver,
bullion, yeah.
gold, all kinds of stuff that was up there. So I find
Mhm.
that very interesting that everything is tracking and trending that way. So as a
Mhm.
whole, I think it is positive. I just think that people are going to utilize it in different manners. We utilize it quite differently. We haven't really, unless it's been a collab, we haven't really done any gecko auctions ourselves yet.
No, we've done what?
Two with
Two
Brian.
with Brian. Yeah.
Mhm.
Outside of that, we'll do it here and there on the snake side. The snake business is way behind the gecko business because we've been doing the geckos way longer.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we're still looking at it as a branding opportunity.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Marketing
networking,
opportunity.
right?
Right.
Again, another
Absolutely.
tool in the toolbox.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
People just have to understand, like, I think where people go wrong with it is they see these things pop up and they think, oh, this is the next best thing.
hmm
And what they don't
Mhm.
realize is there's nothing that is the next best thing. The next best thing is just to remain consistent in what you're
Right.
doing on a regular
Mhm.
basis.
and you can't
Right.
control other people.
Yeah, you cannot control other
So you're
people.
gonna have
So
some breeders gonna maybe X out some of the shows that they do,
yeah.
maybe not vend at
Mhm.
all
Mhm.
and just do auctions. Now maybe that's their form of revenue stream
It
for
opens the table at Tinley.
yeah,
It
Yep.
does.
yeah,
That's
Who
the
knows?
silver lining.
definitely does.
Yep. And you're always gonna have those people that have this whole mentality of race to the bottom type of
Right.
thing, and you just have to
Mhm.
deal with that. There's a bell-shaped curve. Like, you're gonna have, price of $25 to thousands of dollars, and it just depends on where you fall in that bell-shaped curve as to who your market is. There's a
Mhm.
market for everyone. There's a gecko for every budget, and there's somebody out there
Mhm.
going to purchase something from,
Yeah.
whatever budget they have or whatever they like.
What I find interesting with, the race to the bottom conversation is everybody is like, well, it's a dumping ground. It's just a dumping ground. Have they ever been to a show on Sunday?
Right.
It's like
Yep.
not
Sunday's when
everybody
I do
does
most of
this.
my shopping.
Right. Not everybody does this. Some people keep their prices the same the entire time or maybe reduce it a slight amount. But there are plenty of people at every single show that, all of a sudden it's like a dollar start,
It's
right?
deal
It's
time.
not dollar
Yeah.
start,
No,
but
it's
people are utilizing whatever platform they have to move the animals with how motivated they are, right?
Mhm.
And if they're motivated, it's just more visual, I feel like, for everybody. The transaction is visual to anybody just logging in. Whereas the conversation with a customer at your booth is you, that customer, and maybe two people around you if they're paying attention. So I think that's something to keep in mind too. So
No,
they're not
the
evil.
hard part with it, because even with us, I guess we will be one of those people that kinda stick to the guns and just kinda just having a outing if it's that rough of a show.
Yeah.
You all because we're always thinking about it outside, of our circumstance. So we're like, all right, well, if we do this, if and we want to use ourselves as an example because we don't want to put the spotlight on anyone else because you can do whatever
Mhm.
you want to do. But if
Exactly.
we have an auction this week and we cut prices down and we do whatever we're going to do, and maybe some sell, some don't, and we do it again next week and the week after and the week after, what does our true customer base have any urgency? Why do they have any urgency to buy when we have a
Mhm.
website base?
Exactly.
On top of that, if you push that so hard, what happens when it's purchased by someone that decides they want to shut it down? What do you do now? What happens when your Instagram is gone? What happens when your morph
Mhm.
market is banned? What do you do? That's why we still have a .com. We
Mhm.
constantly people to our website because I mean, yeah, you can lose that, but that's what you have the most control over is something that you have. So we try to push all of our traffic there and use everything else as a marketing tool to push traffic.
And that's why we always say it's so important, and pertaining to the shows specifically, is that you do your own marketing. You know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
so I really can't stand to hear people really blame promoters for everything when I don't see
Mhm.
them doing anything prior to.
Yeah. You have to
Absolutely.
market
Like,
yourself. That's
yes. I mean, are there some issues with some promoters? I'm sure,
Mhm.
but as far just across the board, like, you have to take responsibility for your business.
She just said something very
Mhm.
important. Actually, I got a question for you, Bobby. Here we go.
Sure.
So, prime opportunity and setup would be this amazing gargoyle. And let's say the price on it is 2 grand. All right. And you've had it for a while and you do an auction and let's say you cut it down to 1,500. That's perfect. It sells cool. Change the scenario up. Let's say you do a dollar start and now that gecko sells for $500. Solid sales, you ship it out. Something close to that, you produce again and you sell it to someone that's now going to build off of that. How do you responsibly explain to the new customer on how to build that project, knowing that they're lower than you? We've had to do this and explain this before on how, let's say, altitude can sell an empty back for $1,500. You have the same exact empty back and you can't sell it for
Mm.
750 because there's branded, there's so much stuff there.
Mhm.
But now if you take an extra step and you have that for 1,500 and you sell it for 400 and then you're trying to now sell straight out for a price. Like, how do you responsibly
So if
maintain
I
it.
understand your question is it's the same animal, but because who's selling it, there's different value,
Definitely.
right? Is that what
Definitely.
you're kind of
Because of
saying?
your
Because
reach.
yeah,
Yep, because of your reach, but then unknowingly you move it for way 90% less. And then again, it's
yeah,
irrelevant long term, but now you have someone that's gonna buy a sibling for face
hmm
value. Now, how do you justify the price?
selling that one for
You
that
see,
price. Yeah,
it's hard.
it is hard because this is so subjective,
Right.
right? You
Mhm.
look at an animal and a lot of us look at it and go, okay, what would I pay for this? What would the market value this at? Right. That changes. I think that's another conversation is time makes a difference, right?
Definitely.
What I sold this animal for this year versus last year could be
Mhm.
drastically different. Like you said, the value add of your brand, your marketing, your customer service, your knowledge, how many years I shout him out all the time. Paul Morlock knows more about
Mhm.
gargoyles than almost everybody I know. You
Right.
know, he's going to be able to charge a little more because when I contact him and ask him, he has an answer, guys, like all the time. So I think that is something. But um, I get your point. It's hard to justify keeping a price high when you cut it down and you cut your legs out every time with sales all the time or dollar starts, whatever it may be. But I think that depends on what your business strategy is.
Right. And the more limited it is, I think the better. If
Mhm.
Mhm.
you do same scenario last month, you moved that gecko for $400 or $500, but
Mhm.
let's say a month or 2 later, you do sell one for face value, 1,500, 1,700. Being that it's not constantly in someone's face saying, "Hey, this is a $2,000 gecko. Hey, dollar start, no bids. Dollar start, no bids.
Mhm.
Is it a
Mhm.
$2,000 gecko?" You're like, everyone has
Mhm.
seen it at this point, and it's still not moving for far less. So it's like a good
Yeah,
conversation piece to figure out,
absolutely.
the standards on things.
Well, even just like for my own personal business example, right? I did have a $2,000 gecko that, it's before Tinley and I posted something. Let me back up a second. You know, when I post animals, I've been asked multiple times, are you having a Black Friday sale? Right? Are
Mhm.
you having this kind of sale? No. Okay. And people who have them, great. And that's what
Mhm.
their customers expect. And they're taking a risk if their animal's not there. There's a lot of pros and cons,
Yep.
but it's something that a lot of customers expect with certain brands. I don't want to have that. That's not my business strategy. My thing is if I put out a sale like I did, first time ever, 50% off anything on my Morph Market. I only had 3 or 4 animals, right? Uh,
Mhm.
and if you pay for it today, it's 50% off. That's a
Mhm.
one and done kind of thing. And someone got
Yep.
an awesome deal, right? But it's not something like to your point, it's not something I'm going to offer this week and then next week
Yeah.
and then the week after. And I even said in my thing, I'm like, if you ask me this tomorrow, it's a no, because this is because I want to have a little cushion for Tinley. Like it's
Mhm.
just motivation. So to me, if you can
Yeah.
justify it
Well, and
like that and make
I
it
agree with
random, it's
that
better.
100%.
I like what you're saying. I kinda wanna build off it. Like, what you're talking about, right? A gecko is theoretically $2,000, but you are almost in a sort it sounds like you're, describing, like, panic selling, right?
Hmm.
Right,
We're
right, right.
dumping it dollar start, dollar start, dollar start, but it's $2,000 to gecko, guys. I swear you're getting a great deal. Customers see that.
Yeah.
Right,
Customers can
right.
see that you aren't secure in your own animals, right? They can see that, "Oh, this person is really panic selling here. They're in a rush to sell, and customers are gonna remember that, and
Why?
they're gonna keep that in mind, and they're only gonna buy when you do it again."
Well,
So it's
Right, and
important
that's
yes,
to
exactly the point. That's exactly
you
the point.
yeah.
pigeonhole yourself into that
Mhm.
place, and then you don't understand why some of these other breeders who do hold the line
Mhm.
end up
Mhm.
getting those sales. They may not get them, they may not make, 500 bucks this week and 300 bucks the
Mhm.
next week, but in 3 weeks without having to do all that work
Mhm.
and getting
Mhm.
upset about your gecko selling for cheap, they make one
Mhm.
$2,500 sale and they're good.
Exactly.
They're still making more than
Yeah.
that person.
And make this perfectly clear. You could do whatever you want.
Yes, this is just
Correct.
this
Yes.
Just, yeah,
experiences.
just an
Yeah.
example.
Yes.
And to take it one step further, and I agree with you, we do something similar, but we scaled
Mhm.
into it with Bobby, what he was saying, where he had
Mhm.
something on this morph market, and I love that concept. With us, we do a Black Friday
We
sale,
do.
but we had to grow into that point,
Yeah.
Mm.
where we
Because
started.
if we had so obviously we have a lot of
Right,
geckos. We have a big collection.
Mhm.
So if we were a breeder that say we paired 20 pairs or even up to like 50 pairs, it may not be worth it for us to do some type of Black Friday event like that.
right. And then
Mhm.
basically what ends up happening, you start over the years, off over your tenure, you start building up demand and you're starting to
Mhm.
notice that, even without a sale, maybe you sold something, and then after it's
Mhm.
gone, you're getting 4 or 5 inquiries about that animal and you're
Mhm.
like, it's
Mhm.
already gone. So now you're building up that to the point of it does make, some of those sales worth it because now it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you're hearing that, is this going to be on the sale? Yeah, it may not be
May
around.
not be.
And 9 times out of 10,
No.
Mhm.
Well, and
so
that's one thing, I don't know, I think it's Brian at Altitude who does this, but he'll do a tiered, like, it's
Yeah.
what, 5%, 10% day one. I think because at the end of the day, guys, this is we're not trying to manipulate anybody into
right.
buying a gecko they
Mhm.
don't want. That's not what we're saying. But this is psychology. And this is, this is sort of setting expectations and following through with those expectations as a brand, as a company. And whether it's, dealing with any type of people, my kids, customers, consistency it can lower people's anxiety,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Anxiety is the fear of not knowing where to go next. And so if you're a steady, consistent force in this industry, people will have less anxiety going to you for information and to purchase.
We have a
Mhm.
ton of people that message us just simply based off of we're comfortable with you.
Right.
We feel
Yeah.
like we
Mhm.
don't know you personally, but we just feel like we can talk to you. Just recently, we had somebody hop in our DMs from YouTube, and they're like, "Y'all are just the ones that I feel like I can talk to the most out of all the people that I
Mhm.
watch. The ones that I felt like would actually respond to me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that right
That's
there,
awesome.
that's worth all of it.
And
So
also there's
Mhm.
things in the community where we unfortunately we can't change. I know we all
Yeah.
know about like the Facebook groups and I talk about them in general
Mhm.
because some of them are really good. But
Mhm.
some of them you go into and it's just like in my opinion, you're attacking people when we should be helping people.
well, and there's a lot
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
people that just unfortunately, they're misinformed about a lot
Yes.
of things, and they just don't understand, and they jump on the bandwagon of this person that they think knows so much,
Right.
and it's just a
Then it gets into a
it's a
popular
game
Kind
of
of
dominoes.
race.
It's like
I compare it to going and asking a room of toddlers for advice on something they have no idea what they're
Yeah.
talking about. They're
Compared to
brutally
high
honest.
school.
yeah,
Yeah, they're brutally
somewhere in middle
honest. They don't have any filter and they're always right in their own mind. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. And maybe one of them's right, who
Right.
knows?
that's why
But
you just don't see
But
us
a lot
in
of stuff
that.
ends up getting lost in translation when, someone's asking for help and you out of left field, "You're stupid."
Wait,
Mhm.
hold up.
And it's
Do we
like
really
yeah.
go that
Well,
route?
I already know that, guys. What's new? All right.
yeah,
Like I'm not a rocket scientist. I breed
right.
geckos. Okay. So I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously we could talk for hours, but you guys have a long trip ahead of you guys. And so I want to be respectful of that. And I really thank you guys for coming on. I've learned a lot and I really am looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Where can people, other than coming to Tinley this weekend, find you guys?
Well, that's a good one. You can find us on any platform that is out there. You can
Yes.
find us on the YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, all the things. If you go to our profile link tree, it will
Mhm.
give you all the goods on everywhere we can be contacted. If you have any specific questions, you can always email us at info@flawlesscrestedgeckos.com, or you can just right over to the website, go all the way to the bottom to the contact us form, and just stick your information in there, and we
Yep.
will absolutely get back to you. But if you are coming out to Tinley, we're going to be at booth 1216, and that's pretty much right in the middle of the venue.
Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I always try to find you guys, and I don't know if I just like I don't see the color red,
The banner
for
helps
some
so
reason.
much. I will say that. It is
So
impossible to find people at Tinley. The banner helps
Yeah.
so much.
if you look where Pangea is, because everybody kind of
Mm-hmm.
knows where Pangea is, and you just
Yep.
look straight down where Josh's Frogs is,
We're
we're
right
right
Mhm.
across.
across from Josh's
Mhm.
Frogs.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we
That's
go.
awesome.
Emily
That'll help.
Burke Emily Burke is at the very end of our row.
Yep.
So it's like Emily Burke, Pangea, Josh's Frogs, us. Yeah.
Well, we will definitely find you guys, and we're gonna come say hi. Thank you guys so much for coming on, and
Yeah, thank you
we'll see
guys.
you guys in a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Sounds like a plan.
All
See
right.
ya.
Thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Later.
Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and want to encourage me to make more Gargo of Gecko content, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, share this with a friend, and maybe check out one of the videos right over there. I'll see you next time on Gecko Cove.